It's Monday, the 2nd of July, 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jyutsu, safety energy lock number 2 came into the universe, meaning wisdom, life force for all creatures. So the wisdom, my understanding is the wisdom of knowing that we live in a dualistic universe, and the wisdom of appreciating that you cannot have one side without the other, and that we cannot pursue happiness in order to avoid sadness. So the Buddha said, the pursuit of that which is unattainable and the avoidance of that which is unavoidable is the cause of all human suffering. And my understanding is he was speaking exactly about appreciating that this duality always exists. Happy and sad come together as a package. So when you pursue only happy, you want only happy, never sad, only supported, never challenged. That's the pursuit of that which is unattainable. And the avoidance of that which is unavoidable. So you only want happy, but you never want sad. That's the source of all human suffering. So 2 gives us the wisdom to overcome human suffering because we appreciate the duality, which means that when something is happening that seems to be amazing, if you know that there's just as many downsides to that, or just as much challenge associated with that support, then you don't have to suffer. You can just enjoy it, you can appreciate it, but you take the suffering out. So we've got the 2 of the day today. Then we've got the 7 of July. 7 is about independence. It's about spiritual connection. It's about going deep within and answering those questions of, why am I here? What's the point of all of this? What is my purpose? So my belief is that your purpose is to be the most integrated version of yourself. Your purpose is not what you do solely. Your purpose is a combination of what you are, and then what you do flows out of what you are. So it's a combination of how you are, what are you being, and what are you doing. We get so wrapped up in the doing, we need to be saving the world and, saving the planet and saving the orphans and whatever, and leaving this massive legacy of what we need to be doing. We're so caught up in the doing. What is my purpose? What must I do? That we don't actually take into account that in order to do anything, whatever you do is a reflection of what you are being. And so 2 enables us to see the balance between doing and being. And 7 helps us to explore what being is for us. It helps us to explore our true nature. That's why it's the road less traveled. It's the independent thinker. 7 gets regenerated by nature. 7 wants to spend time alone. 7 needs to spend time in quiet contemplation. So if you ever were going to start a meditation program, this would be the month in which to do it. Or something like an exercise program where you go walking on the beach every day, preferably on your own, or with someone else that you can walk in companionable silence so that you can introspect, right? This would be a good month for that. We've got 2 2s in the root of the life map, together with that 7, and both 7 and 2 are water numbers. So today we have the potential to deeply connect to how we feel. And the Euro is also a 2. So seriously, today this balance is going to be right in your face. Now, it could be in your face in what you judge as being a good thing or as being a bad thing. Whatever it is, it's going to evoke emotions. So your emotions are like your radar of where your perceptions are actually skewed or not. If you watched that clip that I made on the weekend about July, I told you about my anxiety about a goal that I had that I wanted to actually come to fruition, and I was scared it wasn't, and I was like totally overwhelmed by it until I realized it's not even real. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened or not happened. So it's not real. So what am I freaking out about? Okay. So today we really have the potential to, through our emotions, connect to where is our perception unbalanced. So if you are exceedingly jealous, listen to me. Yeah, that too. If you're exceedingly joyful and it just couldn't be better and the world is just the most amazing place and your life is totally styling, you want to ask yourself, what are the downsides to this? What is the cost? What is this going to cost me? Because if you don't do that, then the delusion has to be broken by attracting a person, an event, or a circumstance to show you the other side. Because the universe and your higher mind, your higher self, your soul, always maintains what's called that full quantum. It maintains the balance. It's only our egoic mind, all right, that skew it into this is so good or this is so bad. So please, your emotions today are your indicators. 2 is the number of nurture. We've got 3 2s in the life map today. It's the number of nurture. So it is about nurturing yourself. It's about being kind to yourself. It's about trying not to story those emotions. It's about saying, oh, I must stop being so pathetic. I don't know why I'm so emotional today. You know what? You're emotional today because your emotions are trying to tell you something. And it doesn't matter what they're trying to tell you. What happens is I always go to, oh, I wonder what they're trying to tell me. That's thinking. You need to feel them first, because until you have felt them, you will have no clarity in your thinking. You have to have the emotional meltdown and, let's say, the crying. Well, I certainly do that, okay? I think I'm feeling it. Meanwhile, I'm actually thinking it, and I'm thinking about my feelings. Like I go, oh, I'm so terrified. Oh, I'm so anxious. That's my brain. Until I get so overwhelmed by the emotion, and I'm half Italian, so it usually ends up in like lots of tears and snot, right? And only once that's done, when that dam has burst, then suddenly my thoughts become clear. Right, so today is the day for that connection. There is no earth in this life map today, so we need to earth ourselves. We need to keep our feet on the ground, right? We might feel like we're being buffeted by the waves. We might feel like we're in a little rowing boat in the middle of the ocean with no life jacket. We need to keep ourselves anchored. So protein, eat warm cooked food with protein and root vegetables in it. Make sure that you, if you can, walk barefoot, go for a walk on the beach, put your hands in the soil, lie on the ground, visualize your root chakra anchoring you into the earth. So there are no excuses. We can actually do this. Breathe deeply, because when you breathe deeply, you connect to the essence of who you are, and that deep breathing helps to earth you also. So the villain today is the 4. When we have 4 in the villain position, we become blind to the truth, and that is truth specifically pertaining to ourselves. So you know what, if you are feeling, if everything on paper in your life looks peachy, but you're not feeling peachy, okay, 4 is going to say, you're being ridiculous, get over yourself, this is not real, or it's not rational, okay? So that's the blind spot. It doesn't matter how amazing your life is. If you feel bad, it's not because you're ungrateful for the amazing things in your life. If you feel bad, it's because there is an imbalance somewhere in your perception, okay? And because those feelings need to be felt. Luckily, there are lots of 9s somewhere else in the life map today, so it's about childhood, right? So 9s are about children. So 9s love to have fun. However, 9s can also have tantrums when they don't get what they want, right? And they can be indecisive, and they can be very childlike. So the take-home message today is, please be kind to yourself, because probably your wounded child is going to be very active. And if your wounded child is active and it brings out old emotions, the best thing you can do is imagine what you would say to a young child who came to you and told you they were feeling the way you were feeling today. You wouldn't say, pull yourself together, stop being so pathetic. You wouldn't say, go and eat 3 slabs of chocolate. You wouldn't say, yeah, have another glass of wine. You wouldn't do that. You'd comfort that child, you'd put your arms around it, and you would tell it it was going to be okay. And so that's what you want to do for yourself today, to get yourself through this potentially watery Monday. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.